I've got well over 50 testimonials of people that have helped reach 20, 50, 100, even $500,000 a month, sometimes even $1 million a month in their business. And I got to tell you, one of the core reasons why over and over again I've been able to drive this result is what I'm sharing in this video. And I'll be real, a lot of the people in this space are going to charge you for this information, and then they're not even going to deliver it as well as I'm able to deliver it in this video, because I've refined this across so many different businesses and helping them succeed with this model. It's truly the only way to stand out in such a noisy market, the only way to get people looking at you specifically and seeing you as the only option that can drive them to the result that they want to get, and how to, it's really it's a timeless classic way. It's kind of like dark magic in the marketing world that creates a real desire for your particular service or product or program or coaching or consulting or whatever it is that you do, okay? And what I'm talking about is something called mechanism design, okay? And mechanisms are essentially a marketing word for the thing that you use to get somebody from point A to point B, okay? I don't know if it'll be uploaded by the time that this video is live on the channel, but I just interviewed a client of mine who I took from 20 grand a month to 100 grand a month in literally less than 30 days by helping them rewrite their mechanism. That's really all we did. He had already built a funnel. He was already running ads. He already knew ads. He already knew sales and all this stuff, but he was in such a red ocean. So he didn't have anything unique or different. So he was getting a 2x return on his ads, meaning turning $1 into $2 on his advertising. And then we rewrote his mechanism and rewrote his positioning, and now he's $1 in and $9 out on his advertising, and he's scaling aggressively. He wants to get to $500,000 a month in my mastermind, okay? And so I'm sharing with you some seriously powerful intellectual property that genuinely I have mostly only charged for in the past. And I know that some people are like, okay, whatever, dude, like you're just some guy, like who cares if you've charged for it? I'm telling you, this is how you create infinite demand for your services, okay? And I'm going to get into this right now, and I'm explain how this works, what mechanism design is, and how it creates a moat around your business. Like nobody can even compete with you. Nobody can touch you, especially when you're the first to create a mechanism. Okay, so first of all, I want you to understand what a mechanism actually is. Okay, so let me just come down here real quick. A mechanism is fundamentally the tool that you use to drive somebody from point A to point B, okay? And this is at least the way that you describe it. It's your mechanism, okay? And a mechanism can, be anything like, for example, one of the clients that I got the chance to work with at one point, she was an anxiety recovery coach. And there's a lot of anxiety recovery coaches, but the way that she was able to really dominate was we helped her coin the term nervous system rewiring. And I guess it is somewhat more of a common term, but the way that she described it was different. So point A, anxiety and, can't even sleep and so much fatigue that they can't even, get their life together, right? Point B is healed from their anxiety and living free again. And the mechanism is nervous system rewiring. And the way that she described nervous system rewiring was better than therapy, faster than alternatives, including medication, easier to do than any other process, and had lasting benefits instead of it being short-term. So it had all of these positive adjectives applied to it. And this isn't just her story. When we rewired the mechanism of one of my other clients, they were able to go from 30 grand a month to they just had a 6-figure month in less than a couple months. And essentially their mechanism is helping people start lead gen businesses, okay? But the way that they were positioning it made them sound like everybody else in their marketplace, okay? Everybody was teaching in his specific organic content marketplace, hey, start a lead gen business, right? So the way that he positioned it, the way that he talked about it, the way that he described what it looked like made him come off different, and people went with him. And you can see this in our industry, in the coaches industry. If you pay attention much at all, people coin these new terms like value creator, right? Or things like this, and they create a new way to grow your business that's beneficial, better, easier, faster. A very common thing right now in my space is like no sales calls, no burnout, sustainable growth, stuff like that, which is all a great thing. So I just want you to understand that the thing that you attach your name to, the mechanism that you attach your name to, your ability to describe it, as I drew in this Venn diagram, as new, unique, and better is the difference between you staying where you are right now and being able to change countless lives. And if you're the first to coin a term and you're the first to popularize it, this is where you can make an enormous amount of money, like a ridiculous amount of money. You can look at people like Alex Becker with dropshipping. He was the first person to run massive traffic to a webinar that introduced the concept of dropshipping. A lot of people don't know that, but he was spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a day and getting a 2x return on that advertising, so profiting like 10, 20 grand a day for himself, selling a $2,000 or $3,000 program, right, with an upsell on the back end. And he was the first to design the mechanism of dropshipping. Well, maybe not the first to design the mechanism, but the first to popularize it and the first to describe it in such a way that made it feel extremely accessible and simple and easy and new and better and all these adjectives, okay? So let's talk about how to design a mechanism for your business, because truly this is the secret of 7 and 8 figure coaches. I mean, every single one that builds a 7 or 8 figure business, what they do is they go to the drawing board, they look at the problems of their marketplace, and they say, how can we design a mechanism that is better, new, more simple, faster, and all kinds of benefits than what is currently on the market right now. A great example would be a client of mine. He was a Amazon coach, okay, and he was doing about 20 grand a month, and he ended my mentorship doing about $250,000 a month. And so from 20 grand a month to $250,000 a month. And he ran everything through an Instagram page, okay? So it was ads to an Instagram page, that kind of a funnel, somewhat popular in my industry. And we said, you know what, let's stop saying Amazon FBA through this method. I can't even remember the phrase that we came up with. We came up with a new phrase that was like a new way of sourcing product, a new way of delivering it, a new way of doing low-level tests that then could scale, that felt faster, easier, better, new, different, unique, all these benefits. And then his business totally blew up because he just felt different. It just felt different. And what's cool about this is if you design your mechanism properly, you can still deliver on your core skill. So if right now your core skill, let's say, is sales coaching, you're a great sales coach, you can help people learn sales. The cool thing about designing a new mechanism in that sphere is you don't actually have to change a lot of your core. What you're doing is you're just taking the front end and making it completely new and completely different and then delivering on it with your core skill or your core knowledge or your core expertise on the back end. Okay, so this guy knew Amazon. He knew how to rank on Amazon. He knew how to price products. He knew how to run inventory. He knew all the complexities of that I know nothing of. Okay, and so we renamed it to something else. It was like Amazon list hacking or something like that. I can't remember. And the thing with a mechanism is it has to be a real name. So I'm going to kind of get into some points in this video. I know I'm kind of rambling, but I'm telling you, if you can invent a new mechanism and make it actually real, then you can move mountains. It needs to be real, okay? So it can't be your 7 steps to 7 figures formula or something like that. It needs to be a real thing. So for another great example is a client of mine is getting a 28x return on his ads. He's a videography business coach, and he coined the term video problem solver. Okay, which basically is like videographers stop focusing on creating great videos, start focusing on solving problems for companies and brands. And that's his whole thing. He's like, you can use video to solve problems, and the degree to which you solve problems is the degree to which you get paid. So that feels real, right? It doesn't feel like, his 7 steps to 6 figures, system, or like his black hat, secret back end. It's not like something he coined. It doesn't feel like that. It feels real. It feels like a brand new, real thing, okay? And so, in almost a meta way, my mechanism in this video is mechanism design, which is very strange. So there's a few stages to going from stranger to buyer, okay? First stage is get their attention, okay? Obvious. Got to run an ad, do something that gets their attention, have a hook, whatever it is, okay? Next stage is get them to believe in your mechanism, okay? So let's say you're running an ad to your Instagram page, you're building an Instagram page or a LinkedIn page. Your content should be all about your mechanism. For example, my client with the video problem solver thing, all of his content should be about how I landed my first $5,000 payment by becoming a problem solver videographer instead of a typical videographer, right? So you're selling them on the mechanism. The way that you do this is you compare how to sell. You compare to the old way and how yours is better. Okay, the old way of being a videographer is this, but the new way is this. It's a video problem solver, right? The other ways that you do it is you use stories of people who have done it and what has happened for them. You use positive adjectives that describe the outcome and the process, help them understand how it's better, faster, easier, more profitable, takes less energy, et cetera, right? And you make content around this. So for us, in one of our businesses, we run ads, right, to a VSL video that describes our mechanism in depth. And then what you're going to want to do is sell them on the person, which would be you. In a lot of cases, it's the individual. Usually it's you. A lot of my viewers, they are the face of their business. And so they need to believe in the mechanism first. A lot of people, what they do is they try to get people to believe in the person first. And that might have worked, a while ago, but these days people are so turned off to like gurus that they just want to know like, what are you teaching, right? And so if you lead with mechanism, people tune in and they pay attention and they're like, okay, this feels legit. What you want people to feel right here is a sense of legitimacy. Okay, they're like, oh, this is legit. This feels real. This feels legit. This feels like an airtight case, almost like a lawyer would make a case in court for their client. You're making a case for your mechanism, both in all of your content, in your marketing material, whatever it is that you put out. Okay, then you sell them on you. And this is a lot more simple. This is basically your backstory, how you came into figuring this stuff out, your results, etc., your values, all these things. And then you sell them on the format of your program. Okay, and this is usually done at a sales call. Okay, they need to believe that the format of your program or product is going to help install the mechanism quickly, efficiently, without risk, essentially guaranteed if they follow all the action items, etc. And then that's how you get a buyer. Okay, so this formula right here can be applied to any and every funnel. It doesn't matter what type of funnel you run. This formula can be applied to. If you're in a low ticket funnel, a webinar funnel, you run cold outreach, you run organic content, you do ads to your YouTube page, ads to your Instagram. Doesn't matter. Get attention. Okay, introduce a new, better, faster, easier way of reaching the outcome and justify it and sell them on it. Sell them on you. Get them to take a next step and book a call and sell them on the program, and then they're going to buy. Because if you're the first person to introduce a new concept into their life, the next logical step is to use your format, your program, to install it. So if you can create a new way of achieving an outcome, then you can get people to buy it. So a great example of this would actually be, a lot of people know in my industry a guy named Russell Brunson, okay? And I'll just do RB for short, Russell Brunson. And he literally was offered at one point $1 billion for his company, ClickFunnels. And the way that they sold ClickFunnels, if you look at their ads, what a lot of people think is they were just affiliate marketing. Like a lot of people think that they just had a great product, and they did have a great product. But what they did was they ran these webinars, and they followed exactly what I just set up here. Get attention, sell on a mechanism, sell on you, sell on the process, get the buyer, okay? And what they did was, in a 3-hour-long webinar, they'd spend the first 2 hours not even mentioning ClickFunnels. They wouldn't even mention what they have for sale. They wouldn't say anything about what they do, how it works, or how the product works, or anything. What they do is they get people to believe in a leading belief, which is their unique new mechanism, which was funnels. Okay, and at the time, funnels were not a common thing. Okay, just like right now, there's things that you could come up with that are not common in your industry. Okay, there's so many popular ones happening. Like if you just pay attention, like so many people are coming up with new stuff, and it's kind of the only way to stand out moving into the later 2020s here. Because quite frankly, becoming an online coach, a consultant, a thought leader, whatever, it's becoming more popular of a business model. It's getting easier and easier to copy people, and people are just unoriginal and they're not doing anything new. Okay, and so they came up with funnels. So they spent 2 hours justifying funnels. And the way that they did this was they're like, we spent, $1 million on ads to a website and we made 1.2 million back. We spent $1 million on ads to a funnel. We made 5 million back. Stuff like that, right? Like a lawyer would justify a concept or justify their client in court. They justified the concept of funnels. They talked about businesses that they launched with funnels and how easy funnels are compared to old ways, how funnels are the new way, right? Comparing old way to new way, throwing rocks at other people who recommend other ways, which, by the way, is a very easy way to justify your way, okay? Now that you know people do this, you're going to see this literally everywhere, okay? Like every good marketer does this. They're like, everybody tells you to do this. You should do this instead. These guys, they're misleading you, right? Like, now when you see that, you know what they're doing, right? They're getting you to believe in their way of doing things. And if you believe in their way of doing things, then the next logical step is to buy the freaking thing they have for sale, okay? So anyway, they would throw rocks, they would justify it and mathematically, emotionally, talk about how easy it is, how much lighter you feel with all the new business coming in. And then they would say, look, you've got two options. You can either go and try and figure out how to code funnels yourself, or you can just use our product. And then they would spend like an hour getting people to sign up for ClickFunnels after 2 hours of leading them into believing in funnels. So the idea here is, don't try to get somebody to buy your product or program. If you really want to scale a big business, don't be offer forward. The Alex Hormozis of the industry, capitalized on how we had been selling people on mechanisms and ideas for so long. He's like, just make hard offers. The problem with making hard offers is that the market has swung, and now we need to be leading with ideas again, leading with new ways of doing things. And it's really actually very easy to capture attention if you can get people to believe in your way of doing things. Like, people don't want to buy a product or a program. Frankly, they don't. They want to learn about new ways of doing things. That's a much easier sell to get somebody's attention is, hey, I've got a new, better, easier, faster way to achieve this outcome that is better than these alternatives you might have heard of before. So a very common hook that you'd see for somebody who has really designed a good mechanism is, hey, stop doing this, do this instead. Like in one of our ads right now that we're running, it's like, hey, stop doing social media marketing agency, do content connecting instead, which is one of our offers, right? And so I hope that this makes sense, right? So this is mechanism design. And what you got to do is take the time to really design one that you really, really like. You're like, oh, this feels really airtight. This feels like a good, strong mechanism. Like, this is new, it's different, it's unique, it's better, it's faster, it's easier. And what's cool is you don't have to actually create something physically new. You can just repackage an old thing in a new way. And once you realize that, that's when you realize that this is like truly, truly an infinite game. And you can move into markets whenever you want because you can get, new groups of people believing in new tools to drive old outcomes. Does that make sense? And so you can literally just like invent marketplaces and dominate. And you don't have any competition. You have no competition. Nobody can even catch up to you. Nobody can touch you because you artfully design mechanisms and design ways of moving into marketplaces that other people can't even touch because they're not even on your wavelength. You're gonna, if you're doing this right when you get a bunch of people copying you. Honestly, back when I was really swinging heavy in the coaches industry and I was making a ton of content and it was my main business and I was going crazy with it, I had so many competitors pop up and teach basically the same things I was teaching. And that's because I took the time to design good mechanisms, right? And then my competitors had to design other ones or even just copy mine and deliver it better than I was, right? So what you have to do is be like, how can we get new groups of people to believe in a new thing to drive old outcomes? Everybody essentially wants the same things. They want more money. They want to be healthier. They want to have better relationships, basic stuff that everybody's always wanted. And if you can create new ways to drive those old mechanisms, you can design new marketplaces. And like my clients who you can learn about, you can click the link in the description and check out a bunch of examples of people that I've gotten the chance to serve. You can create new marketplaces and you can design whole new businesses and you don't have to worry about competition at all. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and hopefully you understand just the pure game that I've just put you on and how like this is literally how you create like total blue oceans. This is how you stand out. This is how you create new businesses. This is how you, this is literally how you create as much money as you want. If you know basic ads, sales, marketing, content creation, team, leadership, organization, structure, stuff like that, like, dude, you can literally make as much money as you want, okay? Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you're serious about multiple six-figure months in your business, links in the description. You can book a call directly with myself. I do not have a team taking these calls at the moment. And that may change soon, but at the moment, it's just me. And you can also just text me. I give you my freaking cell phone. Just text me, ask me some questions. I'd love to help you grow your business if you're serious about getting to that multiple seven, or potentially even that 8-figure level. We've got a couple 8-figure clients within the mastermind, and it's a lot of fun running this group. And we talk about mechanism design all the time, because if you nail your mechanism, everything else is easy. Ads are easy, sales are easy, marketing is easy, content creation is easy, team leadership is easy, culture is easy. Everything is easy when you have a mechanism that your prospects believe in, that you believe in, that has been justified, that is mathematically and emotionally completely sound, is new, unique, better, easier than all the alternatives, and casts a negative light on your competition because they're not talking about it in the way that you're talking about it, right? All these things get so much easier when you design a new mechanism. So if you want help designing yours and launching your business, links in the description. Let's get to work. Let's build an epic business. See you in the next video.